School counselors and other professionals are generally skilled at building rapport with students, but they sometimes struggle with how to maintain that connection while discussing high-risk behaviors like underage drinking. Many worry that students will think they are condoning alcohol use if they do not make a strong argument against it. Watch what happens when this counselor switches from showing genuine interest in learning about the student to demonstrating her disapproval and scolding the student for drinking.
Hey, hi Andrea, thanks
Hi.
for coming in today. So I don't know how much you've been told about why you're here, but basically it's my job just to meet with all the students. I usually meet with you once or twice a semester, and I'm going to be talking to you kind of about your life and your goals and some behaviors that you might engage in and just the sorts of things like that. Okay. So why don't you start by telling me a little bit about yourself?
Well, my name's Andrea, as you know. I'm in the marching band. I play the tenor sax.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm involved in music, so I'm also in the jazz band, the wind ensemble. And yeah, that's about
Okay.
I'm an IB student.
Okay.
So.
How long ago did you start playing saxophone?
Well, saxophone I started about 4 years ago, but I've been involved in music for about 10 years now. So.
Wow, that's a long time. What other instruments?
I started off on the violin first, so
No
I
kidding.
played that for like 6 years. Went to the clarinet, dabbled here and there with different things, and then I found the one for me.
That's awesome. And you play tenor sax?
Yeah, the tenor sax.
Wow.
So.
And how long have you been in marching band?
Marching band since freshman year. So
Okay.
like 3 years too.
A couple of years. Great. And how do you like marching band?
It's fun. It's a lot of work, long summers taught, but it's fun.
What are your favorite parts about it?
I really like the group setting.
Okay.
You know, getting to work with my other classmates and things like that, and putting on this entire show. It's very exciting, very exhilarating once you're in competition.
Okay.
It's very cool.
Cool. And do you have a lot of friends who are in band with you, or
Yeah.
friends outside of band? Or
I have I have two separate groups. I have my friends from class and then my friends from band.
Okay.
So,
Great. And then tell me a little bit about your family.
well, I have one brother. He's older than me, about 9 years older than me.
Oh, wow.
And my parents and my dog.
Okay. What kind of dog do you
He's a
have?
golden retriever.
Oh, nice.
Charlie.
Charlie?
A big boy. Yeah.
Cute. Have you had him a long time?
Yeah, he's about 8 years old now. So.
Oh, gosh, you have. Okay. Very cool. And what are your plans for after high school?
Well, I'm planning on going to school. I'd like to become a doctor one day.
Wow.
So I'm interested in psychology, psychiatry, something like that.
Okay.
So,
You've got big dreams.
yeah.
Cool. All right. Have you started thinking about schools or majors? I guess you're thinking about psychology
Yeah,
as a major.
psychology. I haven't really thought too much about which school. I mean,
Right.
everyone wants to shoot for the Ivy League,
Right.
so.
All right. And how about your grades?
They're pretty good, high 3-point somethings.
Okay. Good. Very good. All right. Well, what kinds of things do you do for fun on weekends?
I usually go out with my friends. We'll go to the movies, or most likely we'll just meet up at someone's house and just hang out and things.
Mm-hmm. When you're hanging out, is there ever alcohol?
Sometimes. I'm going to be honest, sometimes.
Uh-huh. So how often do you think you drink alcohol?
Depending on how much schoolwork there is. When there's not, it might be like every other weekend or like 3 weekends out of the month.
Oh, so you're drinking a lot.
Yeah.
Okay. And how much are you drinking on the days that you drink?
We don't get blackout drunk or anything. It's more of like a little tipsy kind of thing. I have gotten blackout drunk before, but I kind of did that, learned my lesson, didn't like it.
Got it. So you've had some pretty heavy drinking. What do you think's the most you've ever had?
Like how many drinks?
Yeah.
It was a good amount. It was the first time I ever drank, and it was like 3 or 4 cups, but it was mixing different things.
Okay, so you don't even
So
know.
I'm not, yeah.
Okay, so, and then your friends drink too?
Yeah, yes, not all of them,
Okay.
but some of them do.
And how much do they typically drink?
More or less the same amount. So right now, the most we'll have is maybe like 1 cup after that one time, but sometimes 1 or 2, but they can be kind of heavy.
Okay, so it's 1 cup, but it's,
it's a
not one
typical.
drink. It has a lot of alcohol in it. Okay. So, gosh, you're actually really drinking quite a lot. your level of drinking puts you in what we call a high risk group. So is that surprising to you?
A little bit.
Yeah. So we call it high risk because it means that there's actually quite a bit of chances that you're going to have some bad consequences from drinking like that. So, things like having car accidents or other accidents or getting in fights or, sexual assault or health problems or developing alcoholism. Have you thought about those things?
Not too much, to be honest. I've always thought, since it's, within my small group of friends and we usually sleep over each other's house, we don't get into the problems of drinking and driving and possibly sexual assaults and things like that. But I haven't really thought about possible alcoholism or anything.
Okay, so it's good because you're not drinking and driving, but you're still really drinking a lot. And yeah, okay, so let's talk a little bit about that, how you might be able to make some changes, because I think you really need to stop drinking like this.
Okay.
So do you think you could quit drinking, or?
Yeah, I think I could. I don't need it. For instance, it is used as a kind of like, let's get the party going. But we haven't always had it, obviously, so I think it would be possible to stop drinking.
Okay, so does that mean you're gonna stop drinking?
I would probably start off by because my friends are also involved, so I'd be like, hey guys, I don't think I'm gonna drink today, and kind of see how that goes.
Okay.
Because
you don't sound very much like you think that's gonna work.
yeah, it's one thing to control my own drinking, and it's another thing when everyone else around me is drinking, and then there's that pressure of, oh, they're gonna think I look stupid.
Okay, so how are you gonna quit drinking without your friends thinking you look stupid?
Yeah.
Okay, so I mean, do you think they're really good friends of yours if they're gonna give you such a hard time?
My close ones, I know they wouldn't have a problem with that. But the ones that I'm not that close with, but I'll still hang out with, those are probably the ones that might ostracize me for something. Or
it sounds like you might be better off without them, though. They're
yeah,
maybe not very good friends.
probably might be too judgmental.
So, so I think we should set a goal that you're gonna stop drinking.
Okay.
And I think you should probably stop as soon as possible, like this weekend.
Okay.
So the way this normally works is, we set your goal, and then I'll have you come back and we'll talk about it again in a couple weeks and make sure that you actually stopped. And so what do you think about that?
I think it's a possibility. I think
Okay.
if
So
we make a good plan, I think I'd be able to follow through with it.
okay, great. So the plan is going to be that you're going to quit, and the friends that you have that you don't think are supportive, you're just going to, I guess, not hang out with anymore.
Yeah, I think I can do that.
Okay. And then, are your friends in band drinking?
Not really. The ones that drink more are the ones my class friends.
Okay.
My band friends, we're focused on band, so can't really.
Okay. So that might be good, is really just to focus more on band. Because, the other big concern I have for you is if you want to go to medical school, you're not ever going to get into medical school if you're drinking like this.
Yeah.
College is going to be really hard. And especially with all those pre-med classes, you're not going to be able to handle it drinking this much. Have you thought about that?
Not too much, to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. So setting this goal then of quitting drinking is going to be really helpful for you. And it sounds like it shouldn't be that tough, really, especially because you can just stop hanging out with the people who drink a lot, since you have some other friends. Yeah, so do you have any questions for me, or?
What should yeah, I do. So what should I say, once, let's say I hang out with my friends and they're like, hey, why aren't you drinking? Like, how should I go about that situation?
Well, one good option would be to just review with them all the bad things about alcohol. You can say, I thought about it and I realized it's going to mess up my schoolwork and, it's really a lot of risk for my health. I don't want to become an alcoholic. I don't want to get liver disease. I don't want to end up driving drunk or getting into accidents or getting in fights. Or, one thing you could bring up is I've heard a lot of stories about kids who, are at parties and they're drunk and acting stupid, and then people post stuff on Instagram and, that's it for their social life. It's like over.
Yeah.
So,
and like professional life as well. I don't want that biting me.
Yeah,
in
so
the butt.
I think just tell your friends, you realize that there's all these bad things about it and you don't want to do it anymore, so you're just not going to.
Okay.
And then
I can
you
do
can
that.
tell them to stop too, then that'd be really good. You'd be
It'd
a
be
good
easier
friend.
if, as a group, we all work together to become better.
Yeah, exactly. All right, any other questions or anything else I can help with?
No, I think I'm good.
Okay, so like I said, I'll plan to meet with you again in a couple weeks and make sure that you actually quit drinking.
Okay.
All right.
Sounds good.
Great.
In this scenario, the counselor began the interaction using appropriate basic counseling skills and was able to form a good connection with the student. This resulted in Andrea initially being honest when asked about her use of alcohol. However, there was an abrupt switch in the counselor's demeanor at that point. By exclaiming, "You're drinking a lot," she put the student on the defensive. Andrea immediately began to appear less comfortable, more embarrassed and ashamed. After being scolded, Andrea tried to backtrack and minimize her drinking. Her body language conveyed significant discomfort. Whereas initially she was outgoing and energetic, she became meek and shut down. The counselor then introduced a change goal for the student and pushed too hard and too fast for a commitment to this goal. Andrea responded with weak agreement to everything suggested by the counselor, but her concerns about the difficulty of making the change and the importance of her friendships were effectively dismissed by the counselor. Rather than asking the student for her own ideas, the counselor introduced dramatic warnings and lecturing about potential consequences of drinking. In the end, the student was unable to consider options for herself and left the interaction feeling confused and unlikely to make a change.